Well, Robert Earl Dean, we got a great interview with us today, man.
Another banger.
Man, this dude right here, I don't know where the Lord cooked him up at, but this dude is so solid and so
Yes,
right.
sir. Yes, sir.
Who do we got with us today?
This gentleman is a singer, can preach, he can do it all, and he's an entrepreneur, which sets him apart from many of these independent artists. None other than the incomparable, the voice, the anointed one for this hour,
Uh-huh.
Dr. Titus Showers. Good morning,
Well,
good
well,
morning.
well. Praise you, Jesus.
Bless you. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yes, we're so
Indeed, it's an
honored.
honor.
Yes, yes.
Man, we are excited about having you with us today. First of all, I just want to say, where in the world did you get your dopeness when it comes down to songwriting and praising the Lord?
Yes.
Of course, it come from my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but everything is dependent upon what you're going through in life and what life is at that moment. I tend to write on emotions. I tend to write according to what God has given me when I'm studying, and I also tend to write, what's the state of the world that is going on. And anytime you can do that, the people of God will always be able to be great consumers and support you, because we all go through certain things. We all need them, and we all love that name Jesus. And eventually, we know that one day everything is going to be all right. So God gives me these words, and I just thankful that He give them to him at such a time as this.
Amen, amen. Robert.
And you know what comes from the heart reaches the heart. People want genuine writing, feeling, because
Yes,
it's
sir.
a human thing.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right.
Okay, so I'm just gonna jump on in this
Jump on in the water,
and
brother.
start asking where are you doing this interview from? Because I'm like really digging this clock
I
behind
was
you.
looking at the clock too.
Wow,
I was
man!
looking
I
at it
just
too.
put that up, man. I'm at my spot, man, in Louisiana, and I just seen this on a commercial, and I just put the clock up, man.
Okay, so
So yes, indeed.
so you in Louisiana? What part of Louisiana?
I'm in Hammond. I'm in between New Orleans, Louisiana, and Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Now, did you grow up in Louisiana?
Born
Okay,
and raised.
okay.
That's
Oh,
right.
get
So
some singing people
so
down
so
there
you know I'm gonna ask the question.
about the food.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask the
Let's
He
go.
question.
gonna ask about
Uh,
food, I bet you.
brother, can you cook?
Absolutely not.
At least he
But
tell the
my
truth.
mom can cook. My girl can cook. Man, I'm just honored to have someone that can always make it happen for me. My brother-in-law, he's a great cook, and I need to learn some traits from him. But I know how to make my mama biscuits a little bit. So
Okay,
whenever you guys in town, I can get you some my mama biscuits.
okay. So I just want to let you know that we might have to take away your New Orleans card or your Louisiana card since you can't bring us no
Hey,
etouffee or no gumbo. But
I
we
still can bring it.
yeah,
I still can bring it.
You just
I
don't
just
make
won't be
it.
able to cook it.
Right. You know what, brother? I first heard you. I was strolling through and I listened to Lexi a lot with her crazy self. And
Yes, indeed.
she had you on there, remember?
That's right. I remember that night. Absolutely.
And I reached out to you right then and you put me in the right bracket on what to do. So I appreciate you for your your human touch, how you're personable, how you were able to communicate with people. And I think that's important when we're gospel artists because we're different than other people, or we should be.
Should be. Absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Lexi was a great, great friend of mine, and I was honored to be on with her. And I'm glad that we were able to connect in the midst of that, man. Thanks so much, man.
so let me ask you this question. When did you start in music and when did you decided and knew that this was what you wanted to do as a living?
I'm growing up as a child, and my parents, my dad is a pastor, and he asked the Lord to bless him with some singles. So I'm number 5 of 10. He and my
Jesus.
Oh, wait,
mom
wait, wait a minute,
had,
so wait a
and
minute, stop.
Jesus.
So would you are you saying that your dad birthed the congregation?
Yeah,
That's a church.
absolutely. He absolutely
That's a
did.
church.
And before he would preach, we would get up and sing, and the Lord just kept adding to the family. He and mom believe in being fruitful and multiply.
Yes.
And
Uh-huh.
definitely, definitely as we continue to multiply, the Lord continued to bless us. And I was just, under the tutelage of my big brother, learning from him. He became a pastor, and my family and I had this group entitled The Showers.
Yes.
We were 2 times Stellar nominated, and
Hmm.
I started my solo career May of 19, and the Lord has blessed me tremendously. So we started in the church And I'm definitely thankful to God for that. And when I started learning that I really had it,
Yes.
you know, I was about 10 years old, and we was somewhere singing "It's Gonna Be All Right" by John P. Key, and I did pretty good. My brother patted me on my back,
Uh-huh.
and that was my great mentor at the time. He said, "Go get him, man." And I started practicing,
Yes.
started studying the ins and outs of what I needed to do. And there you have it, man. The rest is history. And I gained confidence, but always nervous every time I'm presenting respect of who I'm working for. So you never want to become too comfortable,
Come
man.
on, brother.
Now, Michael, I mean Titus, uh, 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 the group was doing good.
Uh-huh.
I mean Titus,
Michael,
how you go just lead the group and go solo? What made you know that it was your time to go solo and do? And does the group get together still and do things together?
wow, man. What made me know it was time, it was because the group pushed me to do this. It's full of entrepreneurs. My sisters have their husbands and their businesses that they wanted to run, and they knew that I really, really wanted to showcase my gift that the Lord has given me, and they didn't want it as much as I did, so they pushed me forth. And my brother also have his own business, and so they run the business, and that frees me up to be a blessing to the people of God with the gift that the Lord has given me. So there's no diss records. Everybody still love me. We still support one another. We get together. We all go to my father's church especially when I'm home. I leave. We definitely still sing together. And if someone called for the showers and I'm on the road, I have this great friend of mine who I'm able to call, and he would definitely take the leadership of the group
Wow.
for me. And my brother is pastor, and so he normally would do it, but he's too busy to do so.
Right.
But I'm still able to spend time and sing with my family. No diss records. They all love me and support me 100%.
So what made you want to start your own label? Because I think it's very important in owning your own stuff.
Absolutely. My sister started the business when we first came into it back in 2014. She learned everything that needed to be learned. We developed the leadership. We had the package of my father, my mother,
Mhm.
and we definitely started giving the people something that they wanted to hear. So it starts with learning the business,
Mhm.
and then secondarily is really the gift. Because if you go and be honest, each and every town and state that we live in, there's an alcoholic or someone who is
Come on.
going through that can outsing you and
Come on.
outsing me as well.
Yes, sir.
So you got to have, and when in having a business right, you definitely have to have something that the people want to hear. So the Lord blessed us with something that they wanted to hear, and definitely it was just set in stone from there. It haven't always been good days, but thank God for those good days that He did afford us,
Yes.
because the good always
Outweigh the
outweighs the
bad.
bad.
Yes.
Now, brother, I got some inside stuff on y'all, and
Uh-oh,
I'm about ready to drop it down. And
Drop it.
and
let's
and
go.
I want to know. I don't know if I'm gonna blame it on your mama or your daddy or both of them, but word on the street is that the family as a whole got multiple streams of income. Where
Yes,
did
sir.
this business acumen come from? And let's talk about some of the businesses that the Showers as family unit together.
Definitely, man. I'm glad you brought that up. It started from just being able to being afforded the privilege to go to school and learn. And then at that age of 10 children and 4-bedroom home with 1.5 bath, a lot of people used to laugh at you. So in the midst of them laughing at you, they were only motivating us.
Mhm.
And those who used to laugh is not laughing no more. Some of them are our
Come
employees.
on through,
Mhm.
church.
So God just blessed us to remain faithful to Him,
Yes.
and it started with being faithful to God and giving Him that 10% that He asked for.
Come on.
My dad was faithful in that, and he taught us to do it that way. And then we just developed this entrepreneurship, this mindset of we wanted to own our own stuff. So we have our own college. My sister has a college where she does medical code and billing,
Mhm.
definitely nursing, medical assistant
Wow.
and billing. She has a home health service where it provides assistance to clients for 24-hour care.
Wow.
My other sister has a Start Driving Academy.
Mhm.
My brother and I are the counseling agency where we provide assistance to kids from 5 to 24 that's dealing with anxiety bullying and
Wow.
so on and etc. And then my other sister has a daycare. Another sister has a boys and girls club. The
Mhm.
Lord just blessed us, and then that's my so thankful to Him for giving us that mindset, working for each other, and God has blessed us tremendously. He's blessing the business, and it's going to be on until the end of times, because it's not a seasonal business.
Right.
It's definitely a business that will be around for a long time.
Okay, so this is my other question on the inside. There was 10 of you. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And so it's a two-part question. First part of the
Okay.
question is at dinner time on Sunday, who got the big piece of chicken?
Oh, Jesus.
And then number two is when there was a situation in the neighborhood and they came up against the Titus children, who was the best fighter of the group?
Wow, great question. Great question, man. So, man, when it comes to that Sunday, we would rally home on Sundays. Let me say that. So we had this big van, so we would get the lunch meat and bread, and then when we are home, whoever called a bowl of chips, whoever called for that was the winner. And that's how Daddy taught us to end disputes, no arguing. So if you call for the bowl, he gets the bowl that time.
Right.
If he calls for this, he gets it this time. And so we did that until the Lord blessed us to move from our old house into the new house.
Come on through.
And definitely the new house is something to talk to God about. He's blessed us tremendously. And definitely, man, my brother was the fighter in the family. He always stayed in trouble.
Man.
So, we rarely was messed with in the neighborhood because we were preacher kids, man. But we definitely had to fight because me and my brothers were athletes. We would play in the hood and definitely go around the corner and play. And we had to protect ourselves, let them know, look, we ain't pushovers,
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
So, but
we
my
say,
big
but ain't soft.
Right.
we had to protect ourselves. We turn the other cheek, and that really means to avoid confrontation. That don't mean you just come up and punch me in my face.
Right.
So we didn't let that happen. But my
So,
big brothers, they got in enough trouble for me that I stayed away from my pops. But we did have to fight at
so,
times.
so break it down. How many girls and how many boys?
So it's 6 girls and 4 boys, including me.
Oh, so y'all had to fight a lot because your sisters, you probably had to say,
No,
look, that's
them
my
girls,
sister.
them girls probably can fight because church cheering can fight.
They had their share of fights,
Yeah.
and again, bro, we rarely had any trouble because we were well respected,
Right.
and that was just. And our friends would come to us; they would call us Jesus children, or
Right. The sanctified
nicknames.
kids.
Yeah, yeah. So we was definitely just humbled and respected, amongst them, and it was just a blessing to be a part of that growing up experience.
Yeah.
They were like, don't y'all fight them. They got Jesus on their side.
Yes.
Leave them
He
alone.
gives them extra strength.
Look,
Yeah.
exactly.
You think
So they'll
David's
just
something?
tease us.
Them,
Some,
them childish
yeah. Yeah,
children.
let's beat them in the name of Jesus. Yeah, come on, boy.
Exactly.
Give me some superpower so I can whoop them.
Exactly.
Now, let's talk about your education because I think it's very important as gospel
Mhm.
artists that we don't just rely on the church and especially musicians, that we just don't rely on the church, that we get some education behind us so we can work until God calls us into full-time ministry.
Yes, definitely. Majority of my sisters definitely have their degrees. I went to school and started and stopped. I began to work at different places. Education is important in the sense of you can become your own boss. You can
Yes.
definitely do what you It definitely helps with income in life, and so not taking away from education at all. It is very vitally important. And once you're able to do that, you can become your own boss, man. And before, and definitely it's needed in today's society. In the midst of the pandemic, a lot of artists didn't even have something to fall back on,
Right.
but definitely I was thankful to have the businesses that the Lord afforded us with,
Hmm.
and working for family members, and it kept me busy. And I was also able to work in my father's church. And another thing about artists, a lot of them are too big to have a pastor,
Mm,
and that doesn't make
Come
no
on.
sense at all.
Cover it.
That can cover you exactly.
Yes.
And I was definitely excited to have that in the midst of all that was going on.
well, brother, I want to say this. See, my management reached out to you because they said that you was the king of collaborations,
Oh,
and
yes.
and
I was
Oh,
and
just, I
and
was
okay.
just going to talk
and
about
they
that.
reached out to you to get on one of my tracks,
Oh, Lord.
and
Whoa,
Oh, Lord.
it was called Shh, I'm trying to sing,
Titus.
and and
come on.
and
No, 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 Titus. Don't encourage him.
I heard that management said that you was out of my price range,
Titus, don't
but
encourage
I
him.
don't know about
no
that, man.
no
Not
but
me, not me.
let me say this in all sincerity, you are
Right.
the king of collaborations. You got
Yes.
some of the best, baddest
Yes.
collaborations
Bless you,
in
man.
town. So let me ask you this. Jermaine
Jermaine
Dolly,
Dolly, yes.
Yes, sir.
Keandra
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Lockett. Let's
Uh-huh.
talk about your collaborations and why did the Lord put that on your heart to do the collabs?
First, let me shout out Keandra. She's from my hometown, Louisiana, and I wrote this song called "Love" on my family's project, and it was something that I wanted the people to hear, and we wanted to brand it by someone else who also had a name for themselves and can also garner the attention to the record that we wanted. And
Hmm.
Keandra name fell upon our hearts. We have a management team. Shout out to my sister, who's the president of the company,
Wow.
the A&R, everybody who has this relationship with these other labels,
Hmm.
and they was able to collaborate everything that I wanted. And there you have it. Keandra featured Dolly. We became friends in 2014. I love this track called You. That
Hmm.
was his first
Oh, yes.
single.
Oh, yes.
And he was a very energetic guy. And I had this energetic song. And we just came off the road in Memphis, Tennessee. We was honored to visit the St. Jude hospitals.
Yes.
And definitely I say, Dolly, man, I have this record for you. And there it is, man. We made history. We flew back to Louisiana, got with his manager, put him up in a hotel. We have a video that captured the moment that we had in the studio.
Hmm.
It was wonderful indeed. It was exciting. And I thank God who was humble and definitely who was out to work for him.
Well, brother, I'm gonna do some business on the air with you right now. Watch this. Watch this. I have an artist that we represent out of Louisiana. His name is Palace. He's a singer rapper.
Palace.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to connect you all and see what the Lord says. But this brother right here is actually dropping a new EP with Bizzle just in September. But he's doing some great work. But what I love about him is that he's a minister, and I think that if y'all meet, you're gonna be like, uh oh. But
Absolutely.
so definitely we're gonna holler at you about that. One of the things that I love about you, brother, is that your humility. We've watched your career. We've
Bless
been
you.
in this game for over 25 years, and we watched you and your family come up. And I want to just put an honor out to your mother and father for what they have birthed, and that you guys are literally kingdom citizens that are making changes for not just your family, but for so many lives. So I want to honor your parents for what they have done in your life.
Me too, man. Everything I credit to God and to my mother and father, man. I even land on a plane. That's the first thing I do. Check in with my mom, and I'm 40 years old. And my father is just amazing. He's my role model. He's a great preacher. He rightly divides the word of truth, and he lives the life that he preaches about. And so that makes the pedestal so hard to, to even just stand next to. Man, my dad is amazing, and I love him, and I don't ever want to let them down. And thank you so much for accrediting them and mentioning them, because they are the reason for me, and they are the reason I do what I'm doing.
Brother, I have two questions. What is
Yes,
the
sir.
name of the church that you go to? That's one. And for two, if you had any possibilities of putting any concert together with you and any artist, dead or alive, I want the rundown of the concert.
And know that I'm available.
Not him.
Okay.
Not him. He'll do the opening prayer.
Man, yes indeed. So listen, man, I go to my father's churches here in Louisiana. I visit them whenever I'm home, and the Lord just gave me a new assignment. So the name of the church is my father's is Rose Valley Missionary Baptist Church in Roseland,
Baptist?
Louisiana, and definitely Zion Travelers Missionary Baptist Church in Independence, Louisiana. I also visit my brother churches. My dad was actually the pastor of the church that my brother is now the pastor of. My dad was the pastor there for 29 years.
Wow.
And it fell, and the Lord called my dad to this new ministry. So I have to give a shout out to Community Missionary Baptist Church because they reared us, and that was the beginning. And now on first and third Sundays, I'm the minister of music at this church in Covington, Faith Bible Church, under the leadership of Pastor Nathaniel Young. And there you have it, man.
Now tell me your concert. If you had a chance, what would your concert be?
Concert, man. I'm telling you, man, I grew up a huge John P. Key fan,
Yes, sir.
still a fan. He's the GOAT to me.
Yes,
And I definitely would just have to say Pastor Key. I have other artists that I love, but Pastor Key really was an inspiration to me growing up here in Louisiana. And I definitely love the writing, his vocal abilities. Come on, and his band, his penmanship, everything about Pastor Key, I like, man. So, but I'm in this new era too, man. I like Travis Green, man. I love his gift as well, and so, man, that concert would be amazing if they put Titus Showers on the ticket, man. That would be, man, that's dream come true.
It would
Let's
be
connect.
It would be your concert. You would be
my
able to,
concert.
Yes, that's
you
what I'm
guys be the y'all, like you say, y'all.
Yeah,
Praise the Lord.
let him do the devotion.
I'll do the prayer in the introduction.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Let's get it.
That's it.
There it is.
Because he ain't a
And
singer.
see,
Because he ain't a singer.
there you have it. Let's
Right.
get it. That's
So-
my concert right there.
Okay, so check this out.
Right.
You are a black man in America, and
Wow.
so much is going on between the COVID and
Yes.
the social unrest, and just recently
Right.
the shooting of Brother Blake. What message would you send out to other young black men and women during this season?
Man, definitely, man. I'm experiencing everything. I'm praying for those families that's dealing with COVID-19, and it's definitely affecting our neighborhood. I lost one of my assistants right when it first happened
Wow.
of COVID, and so I'm continuing praying for her family in the midst of all that is going on. And it just seems like it's affecting our people that look like us all the more. And definitely, Lord, then we're dealing with the racism and injustices that's going on in the world, and we've been dealing with that for a long time. But I'm so glad that we were all able to sit and watch, and we're all coming together and fighting this fight. And Jesus put an end to everything that we're going to way in the Bible in Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 through 39. He says, Jesus said unto this lawyer, thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. And then the first and great commandment, and the second is likened unto this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. See, if we would love one another, hatred, injustices, and all of this color calling, that would not be seen had we just loved our neighbor, as the Lord told us, certain lawyer. So if we get back to loving the Lord's kind of way, we can put an end to the injustices. We need to go and speak with the president and get him out of there. I'm sorry.
Out.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
OUT out.
You know, anybody that's the author of confusion,
Come on.
that goes against God.
That
man,
goes
and
against
not, coming together. He needs to just sit down, because he needs to be showing some leadership. Our elected officials, they need to be on the same page, and we as Black people need to realize the power that we really have and exercise it.
Well,
Yes.
well, brother, I want to let you know this, and Robert O'Dean, like I said, we've been having some great interviews. We want you to know, on the West Coast, God Radio 1
The best coast.
is going to be your
The best.
station. We are all over. We're in 21 countries. We like they say, that we killing the spot, brother. But
Let's
we
get
want to
it.
make sure that we support you in
Yes.
everything that you do. And when you come on the West Coast, and especially if you come to God's chosen city,
Yes.
San Diego,
San Diego.
you have a home, hit us up. We will place to stay and a place to minister, because I see you, brother.
You have to ask him about the food.
Huh?
That's your famous question about
Oh.
what would he want to eat.
Okay. And when you come to San Diego, because we believe in spoiling.
Yes.
Anybody who come to San Diego, they don't want to leave because we spoil them so much.
Yes.
When you come to San
Right.
Diego, what would you like one of our chefs to make for you?
Man, bro. So look, I'm on this health kick, and we all need to be on this
We
health
are
kick.
too.
Oh, we
so
are
I'm
too.
kind of,
Him
I'm
and I
kind
are.
of transitioning.
Him and I are.
Absolutely, what
We
a
got
blessing,
vegan
man.
chefs, brother.
I mean, let's get it. Let's get some vegan food, man.
Okay.
I've been definitely transitioning to vegan. I've been trying to work out every day, doing what I'm supposed to do, practicing my social distancing.
Yes.
I'm definitely just trying to keep this body as healthy as possible to eliminate the everything from happening. But we
Right.
just do the best we can, and everything else is up to God.
Right.
So we got to do what we're supposed to do. I'm working on a song called "Do Right," And
All
you
right.
guys stay tuned. So if we do right, everything will be all right.
Well, see, we're gonna
And
be in the video because we doing right.
Right, because him and I are on a 30-day, no red meat, only seafoods for 30
look
days,
at that,
And
man. Look at
vegetables.
that.
and vegetables and
See, you
fruits.
guys are ahead of me, man. But when I'm on the road, I love vegan food.
Uh-huh.
And then when I'm home, I have to deal with my mom. And then this girlfriend of mine always waking up cooking breakfast and come, with all this stuff. So pray for me,
You,
man.
you got to fight it. You got to fight it, brother. You got
Well,
the strength and power to do it.
If you tune in every day from health conscious person, this show's called Health as Well. Man,
Yeah.
Jazzy used to be
Verity.
over at Verity
Verity.
Records. He was over the Verity Records.
Say no more.
And so
Say no
this dude
more.
right here, you tune into him, he will get you tight and right. I actually did vegan for almost a year.
Well, we'll pray about that.
And,
Wow.
and it was an amazing time. Even one of our artists, Chris White, he's actually a vegan. He's doing vegan and chef.
Good for
He
him.
actually surprised our program director. She'll that he done made her some vegan cookies.
She knows.
You know what I'm saying? And so
Absolutely.
we got the vegan now. So when you come to San Diego, you're gonna be so healthy.
Yes,
you
but
go,
a little chicken
Man,
ain't
y'all
bad.
gotta set it up, man.
Chicken
I have
ain't bad
family
every
there,
now
I have
and then.
friends.
yeah,
Set
Yeah.
that up. I'm looking forward to this food, man.
Yeah.
Hook that
okay.
up. Let's get it done.
Yes, sir. So any final words, brother? And Robert Earl, I know you
Let's
got
talk
some.
about his latest single. That's what we want to focus on as we in this segment.
I'm sorry, we were just having such a good brother
Yeah,
time.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
We family now.
We family, but
That's right,
we got to
that's
make
right.
sure that,
Let's take care
that
of
the
business.
audience know about
let's
the
take care of
music thing.
business. Yes.
Absolutely. So I'm excited about this new single that the Lord has given me, and I released it in the midst of all that the world is going on. And I just wanted them to know that it's working for our good. I know it don't look good, but we serve this awesome God named Jesus Christ, and He's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask or think.
Yes.
And I wanted to remind us all that it don't look good, but it's going to be all right. And Jermaine Dolly is featuring on this record
Oh my
with me,
God.
and I'm excited about it. It's number 9 right now in the country, so we going on up, man.
Let's help
so
you get number 1,
God
y'all.
is great.
Let's help you get number 1.
Gotta get number 1.
Yes,
Let's get
go. Let's go for number 1.
Well, here we go. Right here
That's
on God Radio 1. It's called It's Gonna Be All Right.
And it's
Titus
by
Shower and featuring Mr. Jermaine Dolly right
on
here.
GODRadio1.com.